Yo, yo, yo. What's good, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're in the world. Thomas Bain. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy. Real brief. I want to bring to you some news. So one of our state congressmen, California state congressman, has introduced a bill, an extreme risk protection order bill in Congress for the country, not just California, but for the entire United States. Okay. So this is the second such bill that has been introduced. One is in the Senate. Marco Rubio introduced that. And now you got this cat from California. He has a weird name. I don't want to even try to pronounce it, but it's an extreme risk protection order. Extreme risk protection bill, okay, which is a red flag law bill. And you know, people might want to question, would this bill pass in Congress and the Senate? Now, some people think that as long as we have the filibuster, we'll be okay. But I wouldn't be so sure about that, because a lot of Republicans are pro red flag law. Dan Crenshaw, right? Dan Crenshaw is one of them. There are a number of, Republican senators and Congress people that are pro, red flag law and allow those laws to pass in their state. Now, at the same time, they'll push they'll encourage sanctuary, 2A sanctuary states and counties and whatever. There's a lot of states, right, that I think there's about 20 or so now in this country, 20 or so states that are now Second Amendment sanctuary states and have some type of constitutional carry. But that doesn't mean that a law like this, a red flag law, wouldn't go far in that state. And I tell people, even though, you have these Republicans in the Senate and the Congress, they pretend like they're pro 2A or they're pro gun rights, but they'll allow something like a red flag law to sneak in. You know what I'm saying? And I also was talking about how the TAPS Act is waiting in the wings. I don't know what it's waiting for, but the TAPS Act is waiting in the wings. That was introduced by a Republican, right? Co-sponsored by Republicans, co-sponsored by fucking Democrats. So if you look at the TAPS Act and its co-sponsors, it's even on both sides. So both sides of the aisle are looking at this TAPS Act like it's golden, right? So, but what is the TAPS Act? It's a pre-crime bill, right? It's designed to stop people from committing crimes before they commit the crime, right? So it's basically like thought policing. If you express a certain thought on internet, or you express a certain thought to somebody out loud, and they feel like you might someday act in a crazy way or commit some type of violent act, then they can have state functionaries come and force you to through a psychological evaluation. They'll investigate you, and you haven't done anything wrong but express some type of thought that goes against what most people might think. You know what I mean? Like, they might see you as an extreme individual if you say something like, oh, come and take it, or if you want to take my gun, you got to take it from my cold dead hands, that type of shit. So this is the type of shit that the TAPS Act will get you on, right? So you on the internet, and they'll go through the internet, they'll go through all your social media, they'll go through all your videos that you posted, and if they feel like you said some crazy shit, which is very subjective, right? It's very subjective. You can't objectively say, oh, that person's saying some crazy shit, because they have a different point of view than you. So the people that are doing these evaluations to determine whether or not your ass needs to go through a psychological evaluation, how do they think? How do we know they're not crazy? How do we know that they aren't dangerous? You see what I'm saying? The only leg they have to stand on is they're backed by the threat of government force. So that's the same thing with red flag laws. Basically, the TAPS Act is like the red flag laws on steroids. It does a lot more. I mean, you don't even want to know what the TAPS Act can do if they pass that shit. So now they're trying to introduce this red flag law. You know, that'll be a nationwide red flag law. So now you're talking about the feds and all this other shit. What's up, Anna Reed Television? So you want to think that, okay, we have this filibuster, you know, they're not going to be able to pass anything as long as we have the filibuster. But I wouldn't count on that. I would not count on that, because some people may fold to this red flag law business. Mark Rubio introduced his red flag law a few months ago. It's still sitting there, but that doesn't mean that it's going to continue to sit there forever. That doesn't mean that it's not going to pass at some point. So, we have to be vigilant in terms of what these lawmakers are doing. We have to be vigilant. But most importantly, we have to understand that even though these lawmakers make the laws, they don't enforce them, right? They don't enforce the laws. Who enforces the laws? The popo. So you conservatives and Republicans out there that feel like the police can do no wrong. The police, they're heroes, they're national heroes, and we need to treat them like heroes, and they're the greatest heroes in the country, Brandon Tatum says. They're the greatest heroes in the country. But they're locking you up for not wearing a mask. They're the ones shutting your businesses down, right? These Congress people, these senators, they're not going to your business and shutting that shit down. The cops are. Who enforces that bullshit? And who decides to not enforce something, right? Look at what's going on in Portland, right? And I'm going to get on this because this idiot Tim Pool, I'm sorry, he's a dumbass. He's a dumbass. He covered what's going on in Portland right now, right? The 800% jump in the murder rate. In that video, you can see that he's clearly contradicting himself, because the police, right? Because people are hollering defund the police. People are hollering abolish the police, all this, that, and the third. And so the police are choosing not to come to the aid of certain people. They're choosing not to enforce certain laws. They're choosing not to help people. These are the same people that you want to be more of on the streets. You want more cops on the streets. You want the cops to have more resources, but they can pick and choose when they want to help your ass, because a bunch of people are running around talking about defund the police. They're rioting and they're all doing all this shit, and you're like the silent minority within that, because you live there, your business is there. You don't want to cause too much trouble, but you also want somebody to help you, right? You can't do it on your own. Why? Because you're afraid to pick up a gun and use it to defend your property, use it to defend your business, because you know that you'll get locked up. You know that you'll get arrested, right? Just like they arrested a woman for trying to get away from a crowd that was attacking her vehicle. They arrested her. They're banging on her shit. And what have we seen? People are banging on windows, trying to kill people, trying to pull people out of their vehicles. And when they pull off, somebody might get hurt or somebody's in the way. You're in that fight or flight mode and you want to get the hell out of there. And because of that, because you just didn't sit there and get beaten and destroyed by a mob of idiots, you getting locked up. So guess what? You don't want to defend yourself, because they'll arrest you. These are the cops that you people hold up as some great, they're the last bastion of hope in the black community. That's what that's what ABL said. The cops are the last bastion of hope in the country. Are you serious? So in that same video where Tim Pool is talking about how the cops are choosing not to help people, they're actually choosing to arrest people that are trying to get away from the mob. And in that same shit, that same fucking video, He's talking about, oh, we need to get the police well. We get That's that cognitive dissonance I be talking about. That's that cognitive dissonance I be talking about. So, if you're not able to defend yourself because cops can come get you for it, and they'll let people do all this other shit, they'll let people attack you because I don't know what the hell they're thinking. But this explains why we don't need cops. And the same people, and also on the other side of the spectrum, with the cognitive dissonance, you got these people that want to defund the police, they want to get rid of the police, but at the same time, they don't want you to have a firearm. They don't want you to have the best means to defend yourself. What's going on here? Oh, defund the police. We don't need them. Bring a counselor and all this other shit. Let's abolish the police. But you don't want people to carry a firearm outside of their home. You don't want people to have an AR-15. You don't want this, you don't want that. It doesn't make any sense. And so why are we still fucking with these people? Why are we still fucking with these politicians? Why are we still letting them rule our lives? Why are we still letting them do whatever the fuck they want with us? Are we afraid of independence? Are we some people, they don't really want freedom. They holler and scream they want freedom, but they don't want to do what it takes to maintain that freedom. And what comes along with freedom? Danger, right? But you have the freedom to deal with that danger as you see fit. If that danger approaches you, guess what? You can answer with your own form of danger. But you're afraid of that. So that's why you go vote every motherfucking 2 to 4 years. Oh, I don't want to deal with that. I want people, God, take care of me. I don't want that. But they're not taking care of you. The police force is a reactionary force. If they decide to react. The Supreme Court already ruled that they don't have to serve and protect your ass. So why are they the greatest heroes? Oh, they do good every now and then? Okay. So did the Joker, okay? Oh, so did the KKK apparently, because they gave ABL's grandmother some toys. All right? Hung a Negro last week, brought another Negro some toys the other. But they're good, right? Y'all know how I feel. There's good cops. Oh shit, that was blasphemous. There are bad cops and indifferent cops. That's it. And if you attempt to be a good cop, you're ostracized, you're fired, you might even get killed. Made to look crazy, made to look like a boogeyman running around the streets of LA killing people randomly, killing cops, children, and then going to the woods and setting your own house on fire. No evidence of you anymore. You know what I'm talking about? I got to go in a couple minutes. I'll look through y'all's comments real quick. Omar A.S. What's good? Jimmy Nguyen. Damn, they're turning this country into Starship Trooper. Imagine they introduce a law to receive a death penalty on all law or arrested for a long time protest. Yeah. No, they won't do that because they don't want pedophiles to be, they want pedophiles to run free. So, they would have to include pedophiles, and they don't want to kill pedophiles because then they'd have to turn themselves in to be executed. What's good, Lawrence Rendo? Let's see. Nate Brooks says Texas just passed total open carry. Figure that out. Well, there's some conditions on it. Like you got to be 21. You still got to go through a background check. You still got to do this. Like, okay, now you don't have to do a little bit of extra and pay a little extra money to carry. But you still got to jump through hoops. You still got to be infringed. Your rights still got to be infringed. Right? If I can't just go buy a firearm from somebody like right now without a background check, that's an infringement. period. Criminals don't do that. Criminals don't go do background checks. They go to the back of somebody's fucking trunk. Criminals do not. Criminals who would choose to use their firearm to commit crimes, and to commit a crime, you need to leave a victim. Those type of people aren't going through background checks. You know who go through background checks and fail background checks? People who come up in the system as someone who shouldn't have a firearm and it's an error, or somebody who committed a crime when they were 17. You know what I'm saying? And according to the court system, they got their record expunged because they were a minor and it was nonviolent. But it comes up anyway. Those are the type of people who go get background checks and don't pass. Or a veteran who wants financial assistance or wants to, you know what I'm saying? Or has PTSD, or somebody who smokes weed, that has a weed card. Like, those are the type of people who don't pass background checks. Where's the victims who's the victim of a weed card carrier? It's an infringement, point blank in a period. If you have to go through a background check, if there's an age limit, safety classes, like, oh, what about safety classes? Oh, this, that, that. People take safety classes and still do unsafe shit. Just like drivers. You got to go through all this shit to get a driver's license. And people still get in car accidents. People still speed. People still run red lights. People can get a ticket for running a red light today and run a red light tomorrow. It's because left and right both want the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it's bullshit. You don't need a license to buy a gun now. That's what's up, man. Remember, mid-2020, most good cops resigned. Wasn't no good cops in 2020. Now most of them have been replaced by bad cops. There were no good cops. You mean some indifferent cops. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. Ready to organize and let's play ball. That's what's up. Black Spring Autumn was good. So anyway, I'm gonna get at y'all a little later. Think I might do a little something and show how retarded. I don't like to call people names like that. Okay, I don't how contradictory Tim Pool is. Okay, like this dude, he didn't found a treasure trove when he got support from the conservatives, right? The conservatives. So now he's just, I don't know, man. We'll talk about that, but I'll holler at y'all later. Much love, peace out, and stay pimping. Keep march forward toward freedom.